Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Lebanon has made history by becoming the first country in the Middle East to abolish the death penalty. According to Al Jazeera, the 148-member parliament passed the landmark legislation on Tuesday with the majority of lawmakers in favor, though the Hezbollah bloc opposed the move. The new law replaces all future death sentences with life imprisonment combined with aggravated hard labor. Although Lebanon has maintained an unofficial moratorium on executions since January 2004, courts have continued to hand down capital sentences, with 85 individuals currently on death row. Justice Minister Adel Nasser hailed the decision as a historic milestone. Amnesty International praised the move as a significant victory for human rights, noting that it aligns the nation with global abolitionist trends. However, the practical application of aggravated hard labor remains uncertain, as critics point to the country's limited resources and overcrowded prison system. The vote occurs alongside parliamentary debates on a general amnesty law, which remains a highly sensitive and contentious issue for families of victims of past violence. According to a report by Lianhe Xiaobao, a devastating 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck western Colombia on August 10, 2026, causing widespread destruction. The earthquake collapsed over 100 buildings and damaged thousands of homes. At least 224 people have been confirmed dead and 668 others injured, though local mayors suggest the number of injured could exceed 1,300. The epicenter was located near San Jose del Palmar in the Chocó department, with a depth of about 110 kilometers. Strong tremors were felt as far as the capital, Bogotá, as well as in neighboring Ecuador and Panama. The hardest-hit areas include Cali, Pereira, Manizales, and Quibdó. In response to the disaster, Colombia's newly inaugurated president, Abelardo de la Espriella, declared a national state of emergency, pledging to mobilize all available resources for rescue operations. Security forces have been deployed to maintain order in Cali, where a curfew was imposed following reports of looting. Internationally, the United States has pledged $15.5 million in emergency aid, and the European Union has activated its Copernicus satellite service to support ongoing search and rescue efforts. CBS News reports that Robert Gilman, a 32-year-old U.S. Marine veteran and teacher held in Russia since 2022, has been released. According to the advocacy group Global Reach, Gilman is currently on his way to a U.S. military hospital in Texas to undergo medical and psychological evaluations and receive treatment. His family has traveled to Texas to reunite with him. Gilman was initially sentenced in 2022 to 3.5 years in prison for allegedly assaulting a police officer, a charge that was later extended to 10 years following further allegations of assaulting prison guards. Before his release, Gilman was reportedly subjected to severe abuse, including forced exercise, deprivation of food, and the administration of psychotropic drugs, leaving him in a dissociative stupor for 47 days. Gilman's sister expressed deep gratitude to President Donald Trump, attributing her brother's survival and release to Trump's direct intervention. The State Department had repeatedly raised concerns over Gilman's deteriorating health, requesting his release on humanitarian 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 health. According to CNBC, retail giant Target has appointed Chandu Nair as its first ever Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer and Senior Vice President. Nair joins Target from home improvement retailer Lowe's, where he oversaw stores, data, AI, and innovation. Target also announced Purvi Shah as its new Senior Vice President of User Experience. This strategic move comes as major retailers race to capitalize on the artificial intelligence boom. Target has already been investing in generative AI tools, such as Target Trend Brain, to predict consumer preferences, and a conversational AI assistant designed to help customers find holiday gifts. Competitors are making similar moves. Walmart has been integrating AI across its supply chain and stores to optimize employee workflows and customer experiences. Gap recently partnered with Google's Gemini, while Best Buy is working with OpenAI. Highlighting the scale of this industry-wide transformation, former Walmart CEO Douglas McMillon recently noted that the rapid evolution of agentic commerce and AI shopping influenced his decision to step down, emphasizing the need for leadership that can keep pace with fast-moving technological advancements. According to a report by Asahi Shimbun, a Syrian court has sentenced former President Bashar al-Assad to death in absentia on charges of premeditated murder, torture, arbitrary detention, and crimes against humanity. Following the 2011 Arab Spring democratic movement, the Assad regime launched a brutal crackdown on protesters, plunging Syria into a devastating civil war. Human rights organizations estimate that nearly 78,000 citizens died from torture in secret prisons. The court ruled that Assad held the supreme decision-making power and directly commanded the state apparatus involved in these atrocities. Assad's brother Maher and other former high-ranking regime officials were also sentenced to death. In December 2001, rebel forces overthrew the Assad regime and established a transitional government. Assad subsequently fled to Russia, which had backed his government. Although the transitional Syrian government has repeatedly requested Assad's extradition, Russian authorities have refused to comply, making the execution of the death sentence highly unlikely. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.